sliding is a commitment in Destiny 2. So one thing I learned this week is that you want to slide with the intent to kill, because you can't slide back out, at least not easily. The goal here is that if you're going to slide, you need to understand what your range is and whether or not you're going to be able to get a kill before you enter the slide or don't slide. So a lot of my issues in Destiny when it comes to slide sniping was the fact that I didn't understand where I was going to be looking when I exited the slide. I was kind of sliding and hoping. Slide with a purpose, right? Slide understanding whether you're navigating to another place of cover just to sort of navigate the map, or whether you're moving in to kill. And in both cases, I'm finding it's often a lot better to slide across the lane than, into it, right? If you slide into the lane, you don't have an exit. But if you slide to the far side of the lane, then if you find that the lane is not enjoyable or pleasant, then you can proceed. Right? So here I'm sliding into the lane, but obviously I'm going to continue to slide. Double sliding forward is okay if you try to slide in reverse direction and then slide. I've noticed that that's, as we discussed in the last video, not ideal. Side note, pay attention to red dots on the radar and look up. So another thing that you really want to do with sliding is, again, keep an eye on your radar and gauge the range. This was another critical learning I had this week, is understanding the range of your weapon and the range of the lane. And based off of the radar, whether they're within, I think it's 15 meters or outside of that range, right? Based off of whether or not they're a large slice or they're just like a little sort of sliver at the very edge of your radar. And that's important, because if you are sniping, you want to slide across a lane where you know that they're going to be at distance, but importantly, you also want to make sure that you can see them on the radar, you know that they're going to be on the other side of a large lane and that they're far away. If you see a big, red triangle and you're trying to slide that with a sniper rifle, odds are they're trying to slide that with a shotgun, and they're going to have a better time than you, more than likely, right? Another thing too, is if you're sliding across the lane with a submachine gun, that's another time when you probably don't want to slide into the lane, because you're probably sliding into a shotgunner, right? Or if you're running a submachine gun, is you want to slide a little bit away from the lane as you slide across it, so that you're setting that range to a close but medium range, not something that a shotgunner is going to be able to drop you instantly. You want that shotgunner to chase you a little bit with that submachine gun. Really having fun with the melee and grenade dual binding there. I think that it's critical, whatever your class is, to find a combo that you can use to nuke an enemy, right? Now, these aren't going to be up all the time, but it's not the point. You use it a couple times during the match, and then suddenly everyone backs off a little bit, right? All right, I want to talk a little bit more about sniping on this map, because there's an engagement coming up here. This first part where I kind of recklessly dive into the toilet. Managed to save myself by the skin of my teeth here. But coming back around here, check this out. I've got range advantage and peeker's advantage. He was sniping that lane. You can snipe defensively, but you better have range advantage, right? Because you're not going to have peeker's advantage if you're covering a lane. I have nothing wrong with hard scoping a lane, but you better have range advantage. He did not have range advantage. And that's what I mean with this map. Because if you're covering lanes, you're not going to have peeker's advantage. And on this map, you're very rarely going to have range advantage. Also, don't stroll into the middle of the lane like that. Casually, with no cover, against 3 opponents who have cover. Probably not a good idea. Okay, coming up here, right there. He's hard scoping that lane, but he has range advantage. Right? Perfectly good spot to hard scope. But there's just not that many opportunities to do that. Let's talk a little bit more about that. Killing instantly at that range. Know the weapon for the map. So here we're on Endless Vale. Grenade launchers, fusion rifles, shotguns. These are incredibly effective on this map. Snipers can be, but here's the issue with snipers is they're more situational. So it's really hard to push and be aggressive with a sniper when you know the enemy is running a fusion or a shotgun. They're at their ideal range and you're not. And yes, you can aggressive snipe, but like why push that? They've got a better setup than you. If they're running a fusion rifle or a shotgun or a grenade launcher, they're just going to have a better time, more likely than not. You know, if you're a pro and you're doing a challenge, that's one thing. But generally speaking, apart from that first couple of half seconds when you're sliding across this lane right here, there's really not many other opportunities to snipe. You got a couple of sort of cheesy spots over there by the shrine on either side, but it's super situational and you can't really push with it. And that's the problem, is that in trials, sometimes you need to be able to push. I need a pushy weapon. Snipers can be pushy weapons in a way, in a sense, on a longer range map, right? But on a close range map like this, and by the way, I'm finding that most of the maps in PvP rotation these days are closer range maps. You can't really run a sniper. There's a couple of maps where you almost have to have a sniper and a scout or a pulse. But then you got maps like this where if you're running a sniper, unless you've got some kind of an accuracy level and close range with that thing that makes me doubt whether or not you're playing fair, you're gonna have trouble. So just accepting that and accepting that, look, I want to snipe. I've been practicing with snipers a long time. I feel like snipers are a prestige weapon. I feel like if you're good at snipers, you can sort of walk around proudly with the weapon that you're using, right? But at the end of the day, play the weapon that's going to work on the map that you're on, and just accept that there are maps that are going to have a significant advantage over you. There's too many corners here. I can't corner with a sniper. I can't bend around corners. You know what can bend around corners is a grenade launcher. Or even if I'm not trying to throw a grenade around a corner, guess what? A fusion rifle allows me to pop around a corner and drop you very quickly. Same with a shotgun. Sniper rifle, that's not true unless I know that you're way off in the distance. And again, if I'm slide sniping, I need to understand where in the distance you are. I need to know where I'm looking when I come around that corner with that sniper. If I don't know where I'm looking, then I can't slide snipe you. And there's other places you can use a sniper, which is defensively, if I know that you have to peek a lane. But again, at that point, I'm not pushing. I'm holding. Right? Now, if you've got buddies over here standing on shrine and they're holding the point and you want to take one of those cheesy positions and snipe cover them, maybe that makes sense. But you got to have teammates that you're confident are going to be able to take ground here. And if you're playing, what do they call it, freelance solo queue, that's not very likely. Odds are, if you're playing solo queue, you're going to have to be the one that pushes. That's another thing to consider, by the way. If you're playing with teammates who can step into a pushing role and you're just going to lay down cover fire and make sure the lanes are clear, then yes, you can use a sniper on this map 100%. Because in addition to slide sniping, you can also just take up positions and cover lanes and make sure that nobody can, get into it. Keep in mind that when you're covering a lane, they're going to have peeker's advantage if they're sliding into the lane. That's fine if you have a range advantage. If they're going to not be able to drop you in one hit, I don't care if you have peeker's advantage. Right? Do not care. I don't care. Because I just need to land one shot. Right? But if I'm fighting you up close, right, then I need to be able to slide in to get peeker's advantage. And with a sniper, being able to put you in the center of my screen and then ADS in and get a headshot or a quick body follow-up while you've got a shotgun or a fusion, good luck, right? So again, if you've got teammates who can push for you, by all means use a sniper on this map. But my recommendation is use the right weapon for the right map. And a lot of the PvP maps are not actually sniper friendly unless you're running with a team who can push for you. That's important. It's important to realize. It's important to accept. that just because I want to use a sniper doesn't mean that I can. And I'm finding that there's actually very few times I can use a sniper. And I'm getting a much higher win rate if I just accept that and use a different loadout. I've started to use fusions a little bit because I feel like fusions are more accepted by the community as like a skill weapon than a grenade launcher. But the nice thing about the grenade launcher is I have much more versatility in my range. I can kill you from this range. What I've noticed is I've started to run fusion rifles. It's much more like a shotgun in terms of the, I get a little bit more range than a shotgun, but it's not a lot. So I'd rather use a grenade launcher just because I can engage you at a much wider variety of ranges, right? And I don't have to worry about charge time. I have to worry a little bit about travel time, but it's just more applicable and broader range of engagements. That's all it is. I'm using the fusion rifle and I can get kills with it. It's just that the number of times that I find that I'm like, oh, here's a time where I would like to use a fusion rifle, right? As I'm running around the map, are fewer. And if you have a special weapon and there are fewer times that you can use it, I feel like it's not ideal. Now, on this particular map, I think if you're running a fusion rifle on this map and you're having trouble finding times to use it, then you probably don't know how to use it. I don't know. A fusion rifle is going to be good on this map, but there's a lot of maps where it's not quite as tight as this map. And maybe on those maps, I can still use a grenade launcher. I can still be aggressive when it is tight, but when it's a little bit wider range, like that right there, there's no way I would have got that kill with a fusion rifle, right? It just wouldn't have happened. That range right there, I don't think I could have killed him with a fusion rifle. But with a grenade launcher, I could have if I'd had a round handy. With a sniper rifle, I would have potentially been able to cover that lane. Because if I knew he was picking it, I could have potentially got a sniper kill as well. I probably would have had to body him and then shoot him. I'm not sure that I would have been able to land that headshot right there. It's a one-shot kill with a grenade. Obviously tossed in a melee to finish him off, but it's effective at that range. I think a fusion rifle maybe could have got that kill if I'm ADS, but it definitely would have been like the maximum, I think, for that weapon. And a sniper, it would have been maybe the beginning, the closest I would have wanted to be for a sniper rifle kill, right? And so I can play basically the full range of a fusion rifle plus, with a grenade launcher. And playing the right range weapon. So this map particularly, I've noticed that I struggle with sniping. I struggle to be able to find times to use it. I try to use it more than there are really good ideal times for me to be able to use it. Sorry, I gotta reload here. Didn't deserve that kill at all, but we'll take it. We take those here. Right here. This lane right here, I come out, I don't usually know where to look, which a lot of times results in me being caught off guard. There's just so many angles you can get hit from to make sniping effective there, but a longer range weapon probably would be better. I don't know that the grenade launcher is ideal. I think a scout better. Could have maybe hit that with a sniper rifle, but again, you really with a sniper rifle want to already know where to look because it just takes so much precision. Hold on, I'm reloading. Hey, I'm reloading. Anyway, so this map is one map where I'm running submachine gun and grenade launcher. And it's not always cut and dried. For example, there's some maps where I'm going to be running the grenade launcher, but I'm going to run a scout rifle. Or there's some maps where I'm going to run a sub just to sort of make sure that I can handle a push, but I'm going to run a sniper rifle, right? And so just because I have a map where I find that a given primary is better doesn't necessarily mean that the same range special is going to be where I'm going to pair with that. Now, that was kind of like that's a range where I can kill, if they're not jumping around in the air so much. And I've even gotten kills with them up in the air with a grenade launcher there. But obviously that's probably not the best shot. A fusion rifle would have been right out though. Like I could have got that kill with a grenade launcher. I could have got it with a sniper as well, just because he wasn't shooting at me. I wasn't taking any flinch, but with him jumping that much, I don't know, it would have been tricky. I'd had to make sure that I had snapshot sights and had him right in the center of my screen before I ADS'd, and he probably would have moved. It would have been tricky. I don't know if I could have pulled it off. With a grenade launcher, I can kind of just gut shot it and make it work. That range there would have been decent for a sniper, or not a sniper, a fusion rifle. But it also works for the grenade launcher, right? And so it's hard for me to strap on a fusion rifle if I want to win, because there's just more ranges at which I can use the grenade launcher right now. And lately, that's one thing that I'm finding is kind of difficult for me right now at my skill level. It seems like a lot of matches I'm playing are very close, very tight, playing very skilled opponents, and I don't feel like I can rock a weapon that's not perfect for the map. And that's the thing that's important. It's not necessarily whether or not I'm good with the weapon, it's whether or not I'm going to be able to leverage that special weapon as often throughout the map. Because whatever weapon I can leverage more often is the one I'm going to use. And there are definitely maps where I'm going to be using a sniper and not a grenade launcher. Endless Veil, you can run a fusion. And maybe I should sort of spend some more time with a fusion on that map just so I can see exactly how far I can push that weapon. Because I feel like I don't want to use a grenade launcher all the time. So I feel like on a really close range map like that, I can use a fusion rifle. And then for the mid-range maps, I'd probably be looking more for a grenade launcher. You know, basically, if I'm looking at dueling you with like a hand cannon, I'm probably going to be rocking a grenade launcher. You know, if I'm looking at dueling you with a submachine gun, then I'm probably going to be rocking a fusion. Now, a lot of people say you want to mix ranges. I'm not actually sure that I would say that that's true, because it makes you 50% as effective in whatever range you're in. If I body you and I can't follow up, that's worthless. Right? So if I'm playing long range to snipe and I don't have something to accompany it, then my sniper is less effective. The same is true for close range. If I shotgun you and don't finish you off, I need to be able to switch to something that I can target you with effectively when you're right up in my face, right? Because that's the range I'm going to be in. If I run out of sniper ammo, there's nothing I can do. I'm standing out in the middle of the field. There's nothing I can do. I can't shoot you. My other gun is a submachine gun, and you're a mile away. There is nothing I can do. And if I want to snipe you, then I'm going to be trying to place myself in that range. But then as soon as I'm done using my sniper ammo, there's nothing I can do. I gotta walk my way, crutch my way over to wherever everyone else is, and then I've got to engage in a different type of area of the map. And then I'm constantly trying to switch areas of the map that I'm going to be engaging in based off what ammo I have. Whereas, if I say, okay, where is most of the fighting going to be on this map? Because most maps have a long range area and a short range area, right? Or a medium range and a long range, right? Most of them have a variety. So then you have to ask yourself, where am I going to find myself fighting on this map the most? Or where would I like to fight the most? And then tailor your whole loadout toward that area of the map. Then you're going to be an absolute something to deal with, right? In that area of the map. And if you find that you're not getting fights, then swap your loadout to whatever's going to allow you to fight on the other side of the map and go over there. Ideally you have something that sort of works in both areas of the map, but there's an area where it's stronger. And then you focus both of your weapons. So there's many times in that match where it's like, you know what? If I can't sub you, I can grenade launcher you. If I can't grenade launcher you, I can still submachine gun you, right? I'm not afraid. If you engage me, no matter what my ammo situation is, if you engage me at this area of the map, I'm going to kill you. That's important. To have that confidence and to have that many options available to you. Versus feeling like, look, I'm on this area of the map, and if I don't have the right weapon out when you engage me, I'm toast. Or if I don't have enough ammo in the gun, or it's not reloaded, right, then I'm toast. I want to be like, no matter what I've got bullets in, I can potentially take you out with that. And then just stay in the areas where I'd like to engage you. Pick the engagements. So I disagree. I think that you really want to go all in on a close to medium or medium to long range loadout, and not try to go like long to close, because you'll be sort of half as effective at both. You'll be a jack of all trades, right? I think specialization is better. That way, I'm consistently going to be picking the same type of engagement, and I'm either going to one-shot you, or I'm going to 0.5 second TTK you, right? Probably not that, because I'm not going to land all my headshots, but you get the idea. Some people are.
This is wonderful.
So, what weapons to use on what maps? You have to know, you have to accept, and you have to select them. I'd like to do a video sort of going over each map and what weapons I use on those maps. I was going to include that in this video. I'm going to be honest, I'm out of time to get this video created, so maybe in a future video. But at the end of the day, you need to know for your map what you're rocking, and you need to be able to change it, and you need to be able to change it fast. So one thing actually that isn't a bad idea is to have sort of your loadout manager not just be like Crucible or, you know, Trials, but importantly like Trials on a close range map or Trials on a long range map. Crucible on a close range map or Crucible on a long range map. And there's only a couple of long range maps in rotation right now, and they're generally not Trials maps. So keep that in mind. Like, I don't think you're going to see Scout, Pulse, Sniper as the meta again in Trials until Trials is run on a longer range map. And it's hard to have Trials on a longer range map because you've only got 3 people in it. So if you're sniping solo queue, just the mechanics of how this thing is structured, because you don't have someone else to push for you, and you can't push with a weapon that's not designed for the lane ranges that you're going to be pushing into. You can't do it. It just, if you're in solo queue, you can't, you can't snipe. You can't do it. It's not built for you. Like, you'll get a couple of picks here and there, but you're not going to be able to drive 1v2, 1v3 engagements that way. If you want to push, and you have to push, then you gotta use the weapon that's geared for the map. And Trials maps are always going to be smaller maps because they've only got 3 players on them. So if you want to play Trials, solo queue, I would say don't snipe. Unless you're either A, aimbotting, which don't do that, or B, you're playing with a team that can set you up for success. In which case you're not solo queuing. That's it. It's a bit of a ranty video, and I may go in and clean it up. I may not. That's it. Peace out.